2020 National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not prohibit electrical outlets in crawlspaces, provided they are installed in accordance with the code. Section 406.8 requires a readily accessible receptacle outlet within 25 feet of the equipment being served, including furnaces, air conditioning units, and other equipment that may require maintenance or servicing. This requirement ensures that a power source is available for servicing the equipment without the need for extension cords or temporary wiring. The receptacle should be located so that it is easily accessible and does not create a tripping hazard. It's important to note that the 25-foot distance is measured from the equipment to the receptacle. The receptacle must be readily accessible, meaning it should not be obstructed by stored items or other obstacles that would prevent easy access. This requirement ensures that service personnel can quickly and easily access the receptacle when needed. Section 406.8b requires a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, receptacle outlet within 6 feet of the inside wall of the crawlspace measured from the edge of the crawlspace opening. This outlet is intended to provide power for portable tools and equipment used in the crawlspace. The GFCI protection is required to minimize the risk of electric shock in the damp environment of a crawlspace. The 6-foot distance is measured from the inside wall of the crawlspace opening to the receptacle. This requirement ensures that a GFCI protected outlet is readily available near the entrance to the crawlspace for use with portable tools and equipment. Section 406.8c allows additional receptacle outlets in crawlspaces for convenience purposes, such as for storage or lighting. However, these outlets must be protected by a GFCI device. This provision allows for the installation of additional outlets in the crawlspace for convenience purposes, such as for powering lighting or other equipment used for storage. However, all such outlets must be GFCI protected to minimize the risk of electric shock. This requirement applies to all convenience outlets in the crawlspace, regardless of their location. GFCI protection is a critical safety measure in crawlspaces due to the damp and often confined environment. A GFCI device monitors the current flowing through a circuit and quickly interrupts the power if it detects a ground fault, which can occur when electricity leaks to ground through a person's body. This interruption happens within milliseconds, significantly reducing the risk of serious injury or death. The NEC requires GFCI protection in various locations where there is a higher risk of electric shock, including bathrooms, kitchens, garages, and outdoor areas. Crawlspaces are included in this list due to the potential for moisture and contact with grounded surfaces. In addition to the specific requirements for receptacle outlets, there are other electrical code considerations for crawlspaces. All wiring must be installed in accordance with the NEC, including proper sizing of conductors, use of appropriate wiring methods, and proper grounding. The electrical panel serving the crawlspace must also meet the requirements of the NEC, including proper overcurrent protection and grounding. It is important to ensure that all electrical work in the crawlspace is performed by a qualified and licensed electrician to ensure compliance with the NEC and to minimize the risk of electrical hazards. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the safe installation and maintenance of electrical systems. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. The NEC is adopted by most states and local jurisdictions, and it is essential to comply with its requirements to ensure the safety of people and property. The requirements for electrical outlets in crawlspaces are just one small part of the NEC, but they are important for ensuring the safe and reliable operation of electrical equipment in these areas. Understanding these requirements and ensuring compliance with the NEC can help to prevent electrical hazards and protect the health and safety of occupants. In summary, the NEC allows for electrical outlets in crawlspaces, provided they meet specific requirements. Firstly, a readily accessible receptacle outlet must be located within 25 feet of equipment requiring maintenance or servicing. Secondly, a GFCI receptacle outlet must be located within 6 feet of the inside wall of the crawlspace opening. Thirdly, additional convenience outlets are permitted, but they must be GFCI protected. Therefore, requiring removal of all electrical connections in the crawlspace is incorrect, provided they meet the requirements of the NEC. When installing electrical outlets in a crawlspace, several factors should be taken into consideration to ensure safety and compliance. The location of the outlet should be carefully planned to ensure they are readily accessible and do not create tripping hazards. The wiring should be properly sized and installed in accordance with the NEC, and all connections should be secure and protected from moisture. The GFCI protection should be tested regularly to ensure it is functioning properly. The crawlspace environment can be harsh, with potential exposure to moisture, dirt, and pests. Therefore, it is important to use electrical components that are suitable for this environment. Weatherproof or damp-rated outlets and enclosures should be used to protect against moisture, and conduit or other protective measures should be used to protect wiring from physical damage. Pest control measures should also be taken to prevent rodents or insects from damaging wiring or other electrical components. Regular inspections of the electrical system in the crawlspace should be performed to identify any potential problems, such as damaged wiring, loose connections, or signs of moisture intrusion. Any problems should be addressed promptly to prevent electrical hazards. It is also important to keep the crawlspace clean and free of debris to prevent fire hazards and to allow for easy access to electrical equipment. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the installation of electrical equipment in various types of locations, including crawlspaces. These requirements are based on years of experience and research, and they are designed to minimize the risk of electrical hazards. By following the NEC and best practices, it is possible to safely and reliably install electrical outlets in crawlspaces for a variety of purposes. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional electrical advice. Always consult with a qualified and licensed electrician before performing any electrical work. When dealing with electrical systems, safety should always be the top priority. Electricity can be dangerous, and improper installation or maintenance can lead to serious injury or death. By following the NEC and working with qualified professionals, it is possible to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and ensure the safe and reliable operation of electrical equipment. In addition to the specific requirements for electrical outlets, the NEC also addresses other aspects of electrical safety in crawlspaces, such as lighting, ventilation, and access. Proper lighting is essential for safe access and maintenance in crawlspaces. The NEC requires that crawlspaces have sufficient lighting to allow for safe movement and inspection of equipment. Ventilation is also important to prevent the buildup of moisture and harmful gases. The NEC requires that crawlspaces be adequately ventilated to prevent the accumulation of moisture and to maintain a safe environment. Access to crawlspaces should be restricted to authorized personnel to prevent unauthorized entry and potential hazards. The NEC provides guidelines for the construction and maintenance of crawlspace access points to ensure they are secure and prevent unauthorized access. The NEC is a constantly evolving document, and it is important to stay up to date with the latest changes and revisions. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices, and it is essential to comply with the latest edition to ensure the safety of people and property. There are many resources available to help understand and comply with the NEC, including training courses, publications, and online resources. Consulting with a qualified and licensed electrician is always the best way to ensure compliance with the NEC and to address any specific electrical questions or concerns. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility, and by following the NEC and best practices, we can all help to prevent electrical hazards and protect the health and safety of our communities. The NEC is a complex and detailed document, but it is essential for ensuring the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. By understanding the requirements of the NEC and following best practices, it is possible to safely and effectively install and maintain electrical equipment in crawlspaces and other locations.